All right, how you doing? So I bet you it's what are we? A week, maybe more past Sawfest. I haven't done a thing. Not one thing. So I ended up coming back to a really bad case of bronchitis, and if you can't tell, I'm on the tail end of it. I'm at that point where my voice is starting to return. I just been kind of sitting around doing nothing, absolutely nothing. I have done a few things. I'll show you here in a minute. I've been working on my brother's bike, but other than that, not much. But I was out here going through some of the stuff I brought back, putting it away. So Charlie gave me a couple of chains. They're 58 gauge chains. He's moving away from 58 gauge, and I'm moving into 58 gauge more. So he hooked me up with a couple of chains that he had, and I acquired a bunch of bars from him, a whole stack of them. So, well, this one was mine already, so I'll put this on the shelf. I brought this one back with me, this homemade bar. That's one that I brought back with me. 20-inch homemade bar. I'm always looking for that stuff. This looks like a small man husky. Got that off of Charlie. There's another one. Got that off of Charlie. This is a steel mount. Here's a home light bar. This would be to like the super easies and stuff like that. But then the better ones are down here. These are some new old stock bars. There's a stack of new old stock bars. We got this Carlton. Old Carlton. New old stock. It's a 3/8, 58 gauge, 72 driver. That'll work good. I'm moving into 58 gauge because they're a little more stable in the cut. That's the only reason. Most people just, once they get to the 58 gauge or 50 gauge setup, they're like, I ain't changing. Me, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to slowly acquire them and go from there. You know what I mean? This is a new old stock Pioneer bar. It'll probably never get mounted, but it's a hard nose. This is something that'll get hung up on the wall, you know? Charlie gave me that one. I acquired this one. This is an Oregon bar. What is this? This is 20-inch, 3/8, 58 gauge, 72 driver. Husky mount. Brand new, 58 gauge bar. So if you notice me running all these older bars, I'm like, why don't he put some newer bars in those saws? This is why. I've been waiting to get these off of Charlie. I didn't buy any because I knew these bars were coming, but I wasn't certain, 100% certain what they were. So, you know, this is a 24-inch, 3/8, 58 gauge bar, Oregon. Just acquiring some more 58 gauge stuff. There's still a couple more here, or one more. What was that 24-inch? This is a 28. Yeah, this is a 28, 3/8, 63 gauge bar. So, yeah, that's 63 gauge. That'd be good for the 3120, wouldn't it? I could put that on a 3120. 63 gauge, 3/8 chain. Yeah, we might do that. So I don't know, maybe not. The bar may not be big enough. If you don't know what I'm talking about. This is a 10-pin sprocket, so when you modify your bars for a 10-pin, I don't know, I got to modify it for a 12-pin actually. This is a 10-pin, so you got to cut the tail in some, like up here, and have it kind of molded around your sprocket. So I don't know if I can get that to mold around a 12-pin. This is a 10-pin. I need it to go around a 12-pin. So we'll see. It might not work. The whole idea is to, basically you're shortening the length of the bar. I'm starting with a 28, and hopefully I end up at like a 72 driver setup by the time I'm done. But we'll see. We'll see how much bigger a 12-pin is. I may go with a different bar, but that was kind of the idea for this. Some bars are bigger this way than others, and I wanted a bigger one. If you don't know what I'm talking about, like, here's this one here. So this is an old 63 gauge ruler nose bar, and comparing them, you can see that the bar is bigger. You know what I mean? It's that much bigger. So by putting a bigger sprocket on it and forming it, it would work out better for a bigger bar. And you have to do that because you'll pop your chain off. You got to make sure it's big enough there, otherwise your chain will want to pop off. You don't just throw a 10-pin sprocket on these bars. It's not safe. You could end up throwing your chain. So, yeah, that's kind of what we're doing. Look at this stuff. Getting it put away. You know what I mean? I don't know what I'm going to do with these bars. This one, this steel mount. These are all 58 gauge. No, this one's not. This is a 50 gauge. So that one. I'd be good for a little 50cc saw. In fact, here's a 10-pin bar I modified. See what I'm talking about? Modifying it for a 10-pin. You see it? You kind of cut it out and make it work for a 10-pin like so. Helps keep your chain from wanting to throw off. So, and it's the hard part is getting it set up. So this is set up for 72 driver chain, and it's playing with it and making sure you cut just the right amount off to where a 72 driver chain is what works with it. So yeah, if you ever see this bar on a video, this old Oregon here, or not, or is it Oregon? I think it's an Oregon bar. Yeah, it's an old Oregon. But if you ever see it on a video, that's the one I have modified for 10-pin. Yeah, that was kind of part of the reason of getting them 24 and 28 inch bars. So whenever I start chopping them down, you know, maybe I can get them to finish off at like a 20 to 24 inch bar, you know. But we'll see how she plays out. So for me, this is probably going to be the most awesome part of the video. Check that out. It's got an S on it. How many of you guys seen an Anvil with an S on the side? You know what I mean? So this is actually a homemade Anvil. My brother-in-law works at a foundry, and he cast that Anvil for me as a gift. I don't know why, I didn't ask for it, but he just out of the blue one day he cast that. He doesn't know anything about Anvils. He just kind of, you know, did it. He just kind of wanted to make it, and so he did. You know what I mean? But yeah, there it is. He cast it. It is cast. It's cast out of 4140. He even cast that S into it for me, kind of personalized it for me. So, you know, the surface is slightly polished off, but not 100, you know what I mean? We could polish it more, but I ain't gonna touch it. It's good enough for me. You know what I mean? We don't need a mirror shine on that sucker. I might hit it with some black paint. I'm gonna leave it on top of the wood stove here, paint it with some that high temp paint, and then just use it as like a heat sink for a while or whatever. I don't know. We'll see. I gotta get a wood block for it and get it mounted. In case you're wondering how heavy it is, it's coming in at about 190 pounds. So she's definitely a stout Anvil. She's got some weight to it. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's a cast 4140, 190 pound Anvil, completely custom made for me. I'd say this is the coolest part of the video right here. How many people can say they had that happen? You know what I mean? I think you can still see. No, they did a pretty good job of grinding it, but right here you can kind of see where, you know, they were pouring or whatever. It's kind of neat though that he cast that out of the 4140 steel. And I'll tell you right now, I'm not a blacksmith. I don't do forging work. or anything like that. But that'll definitely cover any need I'd ever happen to have as far as the Anvil is concerned. She rings too. She's got a good amount of ring, but she's really, I don't know, the ring is kind of ear piercing up here. But watch. Oh, let me turn around this way. Kind of neat. Now up here, she's annoying. It's like a bell up here. I imagine when that sucker's mounted the wood block, it'll help with some of that. But yeah, kind of neat. I got an Anvil, 190 pound. That thing's stout. I guess I could start off like this is the project my brother and I were playing with. He did most of it. I basically guided him. I didn't do a whole lot. Helped him put new tires and bearings on it. He wasn't sure how to do that, so I worked with him and helped him do the new tires and bearings. It's not running correctly, so he got the carbs done and rebuilt, and it did no difference. Well, he did that just to get the bike running, but it's not running correctly. And we went through and we did a valve adjustment. That cleaned it up some, but his compression is a little on the low side. Around, I think he's average around 120 pound of compression, 130. And these should be like 150 at the lowest. So, it's getting a little low in compression. It might come up over time because this thing sat for like 15 years without being ran. So he might be dealing with that surface rust issue in the cylinders. So we'll see how this plays out. But it still won't run right, and we've been playing with it and found out we got a bad coil, or the coil's, I wouldn't say bad, but weak. We stole a coil out of that bike and put in this one, and it improved pretty significantly. So he's ordering new coils. We're gonna throw new coils in this one and put that coil back in that one. That's a running bike, so we don't want to do that, you know what I mean? He had both of those given to him just not too long ago, and he's working on getting this one running. He wanted to run this down to Florida. He's leaving here tomorrow to go to Florida, and he wanted to run this. That's why he's doing all this work to it. But he's not going to have coils in time, so he's going to run his Harley. He's going to drive this down to Florida. This thing, he's driven this to Sturgis like 4 times. He's been to California, Florida, This thing's been around. He's got a lot of miles on this bike. Yeah, he's done a lot of traveling there on that Harley. But he wanted to make this trip down to Florida on the Honda. And it doesn't look like it's going to happen. It's going to need some more work done to it. Got to get some more bugs worked out of it. Now, I did get some parts. So I have a new coil coming for the Dalmar. The 395, there's a new piston coming for it. And there's a new piston coming for the 2149 Johnson Red. So, and a spring. I have a new starter spring coming for that busted starter. So we're getting there. We got 3 parts coming for 3 of these builds, and we're going to start making videos showing the gains. So we already got a quick basic port job on these saws, and we're going to start tweaking them. We're going to basically look at how they performed at the races with this port job, and we're going to do testing before and after the changes, showing the increases, all that stuff. Should be fun. We're going to go through the saws one at a time and just work at making tweaks and making them faster. And this one here, we haven't even put it in wood yet. We're waiting to get that thing running correctly before we can really get a test run on it to even see how it does. But it needs to outperform that 372 clone that Hopper built. We're going to be showing that on video how when you compare it with other 372s, that thing runs, it's way up there on the pack. We're finishing top of the pack with that saw. But as soon as you throw it in a 5 cube class, it doesn't quite cut it. It's not quite enough. So we've got videos coming up on that. I just don't think we got enough displacement to handle going up against the guys running 80 cc or so. You know what I mean? They're just out pulling me in the wood. So we're gonna check out that Dalmar, see if we can get it to do it. And we got the 046 sitting down here. We're gonna see, because we got the 046. So it's got like 044 parts. I think I have an 044 top end for it. 460. It might have a 460 top end on it right now. So we'll see. And I think we can get more out of the 460 top end than we can in 044. But we'll see how things progress. But we got those two saws. We're going to see if we can get them to outperform the Hopper built 372. It does good up against all the other clone 372 clones. It's whenever you start throwing it in against the 5 cube saws, the 80cc guys, it just is falling a little short. And we're going to be doing videos on all that. And then we got this 395 here of Joey's. Something's going on with it. Something's funky. It'll run good one day and not another. And I'm suspicious it's got an air leak. We're going to tear into it and see if we can fix it for him. And we got this G366 he acquired. It's already got work done to it. We're going to get into that more. But we got another top end for it now. And you can see the sticker there. But yeah, it's had some work done to it. And we're going to put another top end on it and see if we can get more out of it, because it's not good enough for what we're looking for. We want to put it in the 360, the G366 class there at Saltfest, and we need more out of it to do that. So, but he wants it done as a gas build. We're not doing it as an alcohol build, so this one will be a gas build. He's allowed to run alcohol, nitromethane and all that, but we're not. We're going to do it as a gas build. So yeah, we got some projects headed. How many of you guys remember the 371 we built, or fixed, I should say, for my brother? She's still running. It's got an OEM top end on it. The thing was completely smoked. We had to do bearings, everything. But it's got an OEM top end on it. It is not ported. All we did was a base gasket delete. But besides that, she is still completely a factory solve. And I can tell you, she's still ticking. Still cutting wood. So yeah, the 371 is still good to go. But anyway, I think I'm done boring you for today. I've still got a whole lot of video to put out for Saltfest. I just haven't got around to it. We'll get to it. I just haven't had the will to sit there and stare at the phone, getting it all edited. You know what I mean? So as soon as I get the chance, we'll be putting it out. I do have the Bounty Log video edited, so you'll be seeing that soon. And we'll be going on from there. I got all the runs, all the classes, everything, like absolutely everything. So it's just going to take me time. We'll split them out here periodically. So, all right, we'll catch you in the next one. Later.